Laura Loomer. Oh boy, Jigsaw after coming to life as a real girl. The sleep deep paralysis demon, as my comedian friend Jono called her, and my God, nothing's been ever more apt. Laura Loomer continues to be the person in the MAGA influencer base who has the most influence. And I guess that's what happens when you give the president a 2-star hand job in the back of his limo. Like, that's what you get. You get to fire 6 national security advisors and the head of the National Security Council, Michael Waltz, who, let's be real, should have probably been fired after he added a journalist to private text messages about bombing sites in Yemen, but here we are. Nevertheless, Laura Loomer has more influence than Charlie Kirk, than Ingram, than Rogan, than whomever else, right? Then obviously Marjorie Greene. Marjorie Greene is out here going like the Palestinian children. This is like, goddamn, you know what I mean? Things are different. Loomer. It's Loomer. And in fact, Loomer has a problem with Palestinian children, but specifically the fact that some Palestinian children who are amputees, of which, and we could double check this, I believe there's something like 40,000 children who are amputees in Gaza because of the genocide, and the attempts to stamp out their life and their families' lives. Because of that, some of them, a very small sliver, have been allowed into the United States to seek medical treatment and whatnot. And Laura Loomer shared on Twitter a video from Heal Palestine that has evacuated 63 said children, and she basically called them jihadis. She was like, Heal Palestine should be investigated, and these kids are doing jihadi chants. Well, here is a Palestinian Gazan amputee doing what could only be construed as a jihadi chant.
Wake up, little bunnies! Skip, little bunnies, skip, skip, skip. Skip, little bunnies, skip, skip, skip. Skip, little bunnies, skip, skip, skip. Skip, 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 then stop. Let's hop again. Hop, little bunnies, hop, hop, hop. Hop, little bunnies, hop, hop, hop. Hop, little bunnies, hop, hop, hop. Hop, 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 and stop. Yay!
Okay, first of all, that's going to make me cry again. But also, it makes me cry because it really is a call to arms. And if you didn't see that in there, you're not looking hard enough. That was an amputee, Rahaf, who is, I believe, 3 years old, with YouTube children's star, Miss Rachel. And she is singing Hop Little Bunnies, which is Miss Rachel's classic song. Now, here's my thing. After Laura Loomer put these tweets out, this was like a couple days after Miss Rachel had gone on to Democracy Now! To talk about her work with Gazan children, specifically those who had been evacuated to the United States. And because of that, because of Laura Loomer freaking out about it, now, guess what? Medical refugees are being denied visas to come to the United States. Marco Rubio confirmed this. He didn't mention Loomer, but it's just incredible that like the entire State Department is now bending to the will of a woman who, again, let him come inside. You know what I'm saying? Like, she let the toadstool, the Yeti pubes, like it all. I'm sorry if you're eating, but you need to know this. That's what happened. That everyone just like, stop what you're doing. Laura Loomer wants to say something. And the reason I think it also has to do, not just with Heal Palestine, but Miss Rachel's work with the Palestine Children's Relief Fund, is because of this interview. Just take a listen to it.
She is so...
Just to give you context. This is Miss Rachel. And I realize now the sound might be a little bit low. Maybe we'll fix it in post. This is Miss Rachel talking about the mother of Rahaf, who you just listened to or saw. And the fact that her family, her brothers and her father are still in Gaza.
She is so broken about what's happened to Rahaf, but so supportive and sweet. And all she thinks about every day is getting back to her boys. And I think as a mom, the most excruciating thing in the world would be being separated from your children.
Rahaf's mom is with her here. Why weren't her father and brothers able to come?
I believe Tarek can speak better to this, but I don't think that men are often approved to come. I'm not sure. They weren't approved.
And Rachel was actually 100% correct on the reasoning as to why we were not able to bring her other children and the father. The medically evacuating children needs the approval of the Israelis to be able to take them out. And actually, both Rahaf, her mother, and her siblings and father were all rejected the first time that we tried to evacuate them. And it didn't take until 3 other months of advocacy and petitioning to get the approval to at least Rahaf and her mother to then finally receive that approval from the Israeli military to be able to take them out and evacuate them with all the other children that we brought here to the United States. We are the largest Palestinian-led organization to medically evacuate children. And that is only 250 children. I mean, that is a drop in the bucket. And if we had the say on how we wanted to treat these children, it would not be evacuating them all the way to the United States to receive a prosthetic device.
So that's Tarek Haylat, who's a friend of Miss Rachel's, who works with PCRF, the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund, which everyone should donate to. And he's saying that, look, we have only evacuated 250 children, and we don't want to evacuate them all the way to the United States. We'd prefer to not evacuate them, to treat them for their injuries in Gaza, which, by the way, psycho-Zionist Loomer is saying the reason that they're a danger and they're not actually in medical distress is because they're surviving the flight to the United States. This is like the depths of depravity. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is Marjorie really should have put in a little bit more work on trying to be the one to give the handies. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm just, you know what I mean? Just like, would it have hurt you that much, Ms. Green? You know, you should have been the last person to try to get in some favors with Trump. Instead, we got Zionist Jigsaw out here calling the shots. And I swear to God, because StopAntisemitism.org is run by this crazy woman who believes that Miss Rachel should be investigated for links to Hamas. You know, these psychos talk to one another on the DMs, right? This is absolutely because Miss Rachel has been out in front talking about child amputees that Laura Loomer's like, now we've got to shut down all visas for any children trying to have a chance at life. Anyway, it's just amazing. It's just amazing, you know. It's amazing what pillow face will get you, you know, or pillow head in this case. What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.